Live. Join the conversation at 512-836-0590. Now, here are Todd and Don.
707 Todd Jeffries and Little Don Pryor.
How are you?
We began the 7 o'clock hour with the top stories that you need to know about. Now, most economists surveyed by the National Association of Business Economics expect that a recession is in the near future. They just don't know when. 34% of the economists polled say they believe a slowing economy will tip into a recession in 2021. Another 38% say that could occur this year in 2020. Only 2% of those polled expect a recession to begin this year. President Trump, he says, not going to happen. We're not even thinking about recession.
We have the strongest economy by far in the world. The tariffs have cost nothing, opinion, or certainly very little. I don't see a recession. I mean, the world is in a recession right now. And although that's too big a statement, but if you look at China, China's doing very, very poorly. They've had, I just saw a report, they've had the worst year they've had in 27 years because of what I've done. And they want to come to the negotiating table. We're doing tremendously well. Our consumers are rich. I gave a tremendous tax cut, and they're loaded up with money. They're buying. We are doing better than any country or even area anywhere in the world. We're doing great. And our consumer is really, really strong. And it looks like they're going to be for a long time.
There you go. President Trump late yesterday talking about our economy. The area around 2222, where former Texas Longhorn Cedric Benson died in a crash over the weekend, is one that is well known by many people that live near that intersection at Mount Bunnell. Several people have been saying for years they're afraid to make a left turn onto 2222 because it's just so dangerous. There have been calls for a new stoplight in that area as well as new signs prohibiting left turns from Mount Bunnell. Cedric Benson on a motorcycle with his girlfriend. She also died. He was 36 years young. Apparently a minivan pulled out in front of them, and there was a collision. Very tragic weekend. Also in the dossier, the top stories you need to know about. Austin's Homeless Strategy Office has given its recommendations to the city council to consider limiting where the homeless can camp and for how long. Those limitations could be based on areas where both vehicle and pedestrian traffic are the highest. However, there are no recommendations for creating dedicated campsites in specific areas around Austin. Also, coming up this Wednesday, the Downtown Austin Alliance will host another public meeting, a public forum on Austin's homeless ordinances. And unlike recent town halls discussing the issue, Mayor Steve Adler will be there.
How about that?
As well as Councilmember Kathy Tovo, Ann Kitchen, and Gregorio Casar. Yeah, the Downtown Austin Alliance says this forum is about finding solutions. They're going to find some solutions to the issues. Also in the dossier, the city of Austin has a goal of 0 traffic deaths by the year 2025, but the state level TxDOT is hoping to achieve the same goal by 2050. TxDOT's chairperson, Bruce Bugg, he says that they're allocating some $600 million towards roadway surface upgrades this week, but the biggest dangers are the most preventable.
People drive very fast. There's hardly any visibility from that side of the street, and so we only use this intersection to take a ride onto 2222.
Yeah, that's a gentleman that lives near Mount Bunnell and 2222 talking about some changes that are needed in that area.
I tell you,
wanting some stoplights over there.
Oof, certainly over the years they've made a lot of improvements to 2222. Having grown up here, I can remember when it was just a very narrow road. So being such a windy road, it was exaggerated even more back when it was narrow. So it feels safer now, but still, all in all, it's a very dangerous stretch.
Now you're up to date. The Daily Dossier, the top stories you need to know about. It's on the front page of our website at newsradioklbj.com. Be sure to share that with your friends.
So this homeless forum on Wednesday at the Austin Convention Center, actually going to have representatives from the city. You're going to be there. The mayor, some city council people. How about that?
They told us they were going to host a series of town halls. That's why the mayor didn't go to the last few, because they were working on hosting their own.
I have a feeling that it's going to get heated down there for sure.
Absolutely.
With frustration. And it should. I mean, people are obviously about to lose their minds over it.
Should it?
Well, should it get heated? I guess it's justified if it gets heated.
We've been heated and hot for a long time on this issue.
Yeah.
Now it's time for solutions.
Well, I mean, I understand the frustration. I don't blame people if they're going to be frustrated and tempers flare down there, because it's a situation that's spun out of control, and so far we're not hearing anything at all that's making us feel like we're heading in a good direction with
right,
it.
I hear what you're saying.
To solve the problem. So it's an important forum, and I hope something good comes out of it.
Yeah. Well, what would you like to see done?
Well, I really do think that the designated areas for camping, and you can only camp here, and that's not going to be under overpasses, and not going to be in front of businesses or sidewalks. That's a good start. The problem is nobody's going to want that next to them. I don't know how they find the places that people are going to go, yeah, it's okay if we have homeless next to us here.
But you do support dedicated places, spaces for people to live.
As part of a solution. I just want to see them get away from where they are right now.
I understand. Get out of your visual.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's a problem. It's going to be a long problem for Austin in a lot of ways.
My question, though, is if we do dedicate certain areas for the homeless to live and camp, what services are we going to provide?
Well, I think it's going to be a way to certainly manage the situation better, to target the situation better, and to monitor the situation. But we will have to provide some trash service. There's no doubt.
Electricity?
Maybe some availability.
Maybe some water?
Well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, you got to think about those kind of things. If you're going to tell people, 200 people, you got to live here in these woods, in this area of town, you got to be prepared to provide them with protection.
Right.
Fire, EMS, all of the city services that they don't pay for.
I still think it's a better option than the current situation we have, where as far as the water that's available to them, the electricity that's available is going to be on the backs of other businesses and things like that, and having homeless walk in to take a bath in your sink. We got to stop that.
The Todd and Don Show.
Are you thinking about